Disney's Illusion Island may be my absolute favorite cozy game of the year. Bonus is that it's really accessible too. Let's talk about it. I'm Steve Saylor, I'm blind, and I play video games. To find out how, click here or click the link in the description down below. While you're down there, click the like and subscribe buttons. It would really help keep this channel growing. Alright, so I have been a Disney fan for my entire life. I was so interested in Walt Disney as a person, I read history books about him. I even went to his family museum in San Francisco a couple years ago. But of course, you know, growing up lower middle class, my family couldn't afford to go to Disneyland or even Disney World. My first time going was actually as an adult, literally a few years ago in 2021. I have now actually been to Disneyland 3 times since then, and I still want to go back. So yes, I am a fully fledged Disney adult. So when the opportunity to play Disney's Illusion Island came up at Summer Game Fest in June, I of course signed up immediately. I had a blast then, and even more so now since getting this game for review. I was also very excited and surprised that there was a decent amount of accessibility in here too. It's not fully accessible, but it's got a lot of areas covered. So let's dive into it. I've been actually describing this game as a kid's first Metroidvania. It has a large open map where you are unlocking new areas to explore by getting new abilities, but it's also a platformer with platforming mechanics you may be used to, such as double jump, wall climbing, and a downward ground slam, and even a grapple hook. It even has bosses you can defeat too. It also has the distinction of actually having 0 combat. That's right, there is no combat in this game whatsoever. Now you may be wondering, how can you have bosses if there's no combat? Well, the way that Dallas Studios designed it is you do platforming challenges in each boss phase to defeat. Plus also there's a bunch of enemies that you basically just jump over or around in order to be able to get past them. That's how they're able to do 0 combat. It was kind of a neat thing. I didn't even realize that was actually possible in a game like this, but hey, it actually does add its own challenge in and of itself. It's also filled with Disney magic, as you can play as either Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, or Donald, and they each have their own quirks and personalities that we all know and love. There are a ton of collectibles to keep anyone busy by finding cards and other items that unlock Disney lore, going all the way through Disney's 100-year history, as far back as even Steamboat Willie. The game also has the current voice cast of its classic characters that get to shine in the cinematics. I mean, let me tell you, hearing Bill Farmer, who was my Goofy growing up, was a real treat.
Oh, I've got a question. Where's the picnic?
No, that was a ruse.
Oh, what?
No, a ploy, a sham, deception.
Oh, are there sandwiches?
There is no...
It's okay. We'll explain.
It makes me smile, man, and I really needed that. Now let's get to the accessibility. There is a lot of good game design here that was obviously inspired to be a great jumping on point for kids, but instead of incidental accessibility, the Dallas Studios team even told me accessibility was super important to them, so they made sure that what they added in is intentional in its design to be useful for anyone. There are a few areas though where it sadly did not hit all aspects of accessibility for especially sightless players and some low vision players. While the interface is large, being designed for the smaller Nintendo Switch screen, and has multiple sound cues for areas where you can explore, it can be hard to tell sometimes with how the camera moves in and out depending on which area of the map you're in to know where everything is, including enemies. I found a few times I thought I was doing okay with a jump but accidentally hit an enemy, so something like a high contrast mode would have been great for those areas. But they do offer, when you do get hit, you are a little bit invincible for like the first second or two, so you can be able to get in and out of the situation or get away from an enemy in order to be able to try again. Plus, there actually is also no navigational assist or voiceover for the in-game dialogue. You hear a quick one-word line from the characters that's speaking, but they don't read out the whole line as presented in subtitles. But speaking of subtitles, you can adjust those as well for deaf and hard of hearing players. You can adjust size, background opacity, and even speed for the animation effect in the speech bubbles in game. You can turn on subtitle color, which will give each character in the cinematics its own color. However, I did find the choice of red for Mickey's lines hard to read with the opacity set to higher than 50%. The rest of the color lines show up fine. It's just Mickey's, from what I could tell, that's hard to read, and it's only in the cinematics and not in the in-game dialogue. dialogue that you see this. There are also other areas of what the game offers for accessibility, and there actually is quite a bit. Let's start you off with, you can play this game either solo or with up to 4 players. I played this co-op with the devs at Summer Game Fest and solo at home, and it helps out actually there a lot because there are assists for both solo and co-op specifically that I actually will get to in a minute. You can set the difficulty for your character by choosing how many hearts you want. You can choose from 1 to 3 hearts, or even have an infinite stone heart where you are invincible to damage. And good thing is that difficulty can scale per player. So if one chooses 1 heart and one chooses 3 and the other chooses a stone heart, you are totally okay and the experience is still the same. So this really does help with parents who want to play this with their kids. You can give them the stone heart and then give yourself a little bit of a challenge, and you can both have fun. Also, you can adjust the difficulty on the fly as well. The game also has several assists that you can enable. The 3 that are universal for everyone, whether solo or co-op, are Jump Assist, Boost Jump Assist, and Wall Cling Assist. The Jump and Boost Jump, which is your double jump by the way, those assists help by if you are trying to jump on a platform, and if you're close enough to it, the game will give you a little bit of an assist to make that jump. The Wall Cling Assist is when you are attempting a wall jump. If you're having trouble trying to be able to get the timing of that just right, you can set the Wall Cling to hold you on the wall until you're ready to jump. This is useful if you didn't time the jump properly and you have to wait for an enemy to move past on a platform that you want to jump to so you don't hit them. Now for co-op, there are even extra assists that you can be able to do to help each other out. They have the ability to where you can share a heart by giving a hug to a player, which is so cute. Similar to how you can give a high five to other players in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Also, if you're not used to platforming, or if you're having a really tough time getting up to a specific point, another player can lower a rope down to the player who is stuck, and they can actually climb up to them so you can bypass that section. And there is an assist for that too, where you can automatically climb the rope as well once you enable it. Now speaking of co-op, because the game is designed to be playable with multiple people, there is a bonus help for motor disabled players. You can't remap the controls in game, but because the Nintendo Switch allows you to use both Joy-Cons as 2 separate controllers, the devs use that so you can play this game with only 1 Joy-Con. But also too, if you're using the Pro controller, you can navigate the game with either the left joystick or the D-pad. You won't need to use both thumbsticks for this game. I know that's the same for a lot of games on the Switch, but it is really nice to see simplified controls in a game that has the backing of Disney behind it. Overall, this is actually one of those games that, while it is designed to be playable by kids, which adds its own design challenges that usually get lumped into incidental accessibility, it was really assuring to see in both design and in options the developers turn incidental accessibility into intended accessibility. Disney's Illusion Island is a charming, fun time, and as a Disney adult, it hits all that magic that Disney has. For accessibility, I give Disney's Illusion Island 4 Mickey ears out of 5. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions that I didn't answer in this review, please leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to answer based on my play experience. Also, while you're down there, could you do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe buttons? It will really help keep this channel growing so I can do more cool stuff in the future. Thanks again, and as always, I remain obediently yours. Bye-bye.